So, the mighty rule-matic. Rule number 1, invite all viewpoints to discussion. This is the most important rule out there, period. Because if you have the collective knowledge of humanity and you're not pulling in everything, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. That means the shy Shelleys in the back of the classroom who are terrified of being the center of attention, they need to be part of the discussion. Because if we need an answer and she's got it, we need to hear from her. Because maybe we're not picking it up. Maybe we're not figuring out what she knows. Be part of the discussion. Come on, Shelley. Be part of it. We need you here. Now, this is kind of a double-edged sword because you're going to get all of humanity's knowledge, all of humanity's experiences, all their studies. Great. This is where the good primo truth comes out, the nuggets of gold. But you're also going to get a lot of just bogus bullcrap. I'm talking about, what? What the hell is wrong with you? Where did you come up with that? There's something wrong with your brain, dude. That kind of stuff. I think you know what I'm talking about. So at this point, you need to have Rule 2 in place in order to mitigate this or eliminate some of this stupid stuff. Any position that can't be verified, substantiated, or deduced is to be removed from the discussion. I'm talking about the kid down the street who's like, oh, you know what? My dad said if you take one of those circus peanuts, you plant it in the ground, and you wait 6 months, you end up with your very own circus. I can't wait to have baby elephants. Okay, we can test this. We can verify if this is accurate, if it reflects reality. And I can tell you without a doubt, it doesn't happen. Okay, I'm not going to go into details. Let's just say that childhood was a long time ago, everyone's gullible at some point, and my dad was a jerk. If you can't verify that something is true, remove it from the discussion because you're wasting other people's time by actually entertaining this notion, by making it part of the understanding on reality. If it doesn't fit, remove it. Period. I mean, this is a waste of time. This is going to lead into rule number 3, and this is the hardest one for people to accept. Feelings and emotions are not allowed. See rule number 2. You can't verify someone's emotional state. You could look at me and say, oh, poor fella, he sure looks depressed. I'm like, depressed? I'm not depressed. I'm awesome. It's awesome being me. More importantly, emotional states don't dictate reality. They just don't. I could be as butthurt as I'd like about the fact that gravity just keeps pulling me down when really all I want to do is soar. Okay, I can be horribly upset by the fact that I can't fly. And I can say to reality, you better do this or I'm going to go find a bridge and I'm going to throw myself off of it and I'm going to teach you a lesson. Reality's not going to say, oh, really? Oh, gosh, you sound so angry, dude. You sound so angry. We're just going to give you a pass. Here are your wings. It's not going to do that. I'm going to go out to that bridge, I'm going to throw myself off, and everyone's going to say, why the hell did he do that? Because we know what's going to happen. Okay, I've tested whether my emotional state can dictate how the laws of reality function, and they just don't. So if my emotional state doesn't dictate reality and we're having a conversation on how all this stuff works, it can't be part of the discussion at all. Just remove it. Because nobody's going to have the same emotional reaction to a situation. So if you're not going to have any consistency, if it can't be verified or deduced, get rid of it. I know it's going to be hard for you, but it needs to happen. This rule 3 kind of bleeds over to rule 4. If you wish to be part of the discussion, have the fortitude to hear out the entire argument and judge based on its validity. In today's society, if someone is having a discourse or discussion with someone and someone says something that's somewhat inflammatory, people shut down. They immediately start branding the person as a bigot, as hateful, whatever, because their emotions are part of the discussion. They don't need to be there. That means if you're sitting across the table from your mortal enemy and you are part of a council to come up with some method to, I don't know, haul in crops this year, and you guys are tasked to take care of this situation, You need to hear what he has to say. He might be a complete jackass. He might start off with comments about your mother. You don't need to let that influence your thinking, because he might be a genius on transportation, on farming, and he might know the best way to take care of the situation. So let him speak. Let him speak, because sooner or later he's going to get to maybe that kernel of wisdom that you're looking for. That understanding that allows you to take care of what needs to be taken care of. Let him speak, because doing so allows him the opportunity to say, you know what, he's been bullying my kid, but he's not such a jerk after all. So maybe I'm going to extend him the same courtesy of listening to what he has to say, because he might be a genius in something else that I have no understanding about. Let that discussion take place and judge it based on its validity. This is going to bleed into rule number 5. If you wish to be part of the discussion, understand that others may challenge your position. This is a good thing. Don't be scared of it. Because if you guys are having a back and forth, you need to have some kind of critical assessment of your ideas. And it's really hard for people to do that on their own. Everyone thinks that they're a genius. And they're going to say, oh, this is the perfect idea. We should totally do this. Now, maybe you have 20% of just good, solid thinking there. And maybe you have 80% of just stupid crap. Now, if you don't have a second mind on this, a second perspective to say, whoa, 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 what the hell, dude? We're going to employ leprechauns to haul in harvest? You can't do that. Those things don't exist. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But until you start getting that critical perspective from someone else, you're just going to end up with stupid crap. You have to whittle away all this stupid crap to get to the good stuff. Same goes for him. Maybe he's got 25% good ideas, and until you start whittling away the 75% of just crap, you're never going to get to what you need to know. And once you get down to this, once you get down to the understandings that we can all agree on, the nuggets of truth, you can combine them to form something new, a broader understanding of reality, which is good. This is a good thing for humanity. Let this occur, because without it, there's just going to be a lot of stupid stuff floating around. Once you start accepting these first 5 rules, and you're in a group where these rules are allowed to flourish and be implemented, you start to come to a common understanding, a common purpose as far as your group is concerned. Now, this is how societies function, or this is how societies are born, because everyone has a common understanding on how the world should function or how it does function. Should and does are 2 different things. Great. Now you can pool resources and make this happen. You can work as a team. Now, every society since the beginning of man has come up with some form of government, some method of establishing justice, of ensuring there's a method to handle disputes, on how to most effectively organize resources for defense, etc. Governments are kind of a necessary evil at this juncture. Now, if your government is not operating by rule number 6, consider the implications of the policies you want to implement. You're kind of in trouble, because unintended consequences will occur, and they're a sign that your policies weren't thought out very well. Nature doesn't grant caveats or exceptions. When humanity does this, it will destroy itself. Look at your government. Does it bother to think about the consequences of their actions, of their legislation? Do they say, well, this is how this is going to impact this group over here. Now, what about this group over here? Are they going to be impacted by it? If they're not thinking about all this stuff, if they're not thinking about, well, how is this going to affect the health and the continuation of our society, if they're not thinking about these things, there's going to be problems. Because sooner or later, this legislation is going to generate an exception. Now, nature doesn't like exceptions. Humanity doesn't like exceptions. Proof of this, if someone makes a law that says, oh, well, this new law is going to apply to everyone, except this group. This group isn't subject to this law. We're going to ensure that they don't have to take on the burden that everyone else is sharing. Well, everyone else is going to see this and be like, what the hell? They're going to make a law and now they're not going to be subject to it? Now they're going to be given extra exemptions and benefits. They're going to be given unrestrained power. Congress. Everyone else is going to look at this and they're going to say, what the hell, dude? Nature operates and says, this is the rubric by which everyone is judged. Everyone gets the same opportunity to prove themselves worthy of life. And now these people are saying, nuh-uh, not us, we get special privileges. No, you don't. At this point, everyone gets pissed off because nobody likes to be singled out or have someone else put up on a pedestal above everyone else without having some justification for it. And this is how laws, like bad laws, set this into play. They put people up on a pedestal and say, this group of people is special. This group of people deserve this. Society doesn't like that. So they attack that group, and suddenly the society implodes, crumbles from within, because one group has somehow managed to get benefits that exceed everyone else. Nature doesn't grant caveats, and when humanity does this, it will destroy itself. It's understandable. Now, these 6 rules, taken together, they start forming the basis for something called reason or reasoning. Now, reasoning we're going to talk about next time because this is where it starts getting interesting. This is where it starts getting fun. Reasoning has the capability to save humanity. I'm doubtful that this is going to happen. I'm doubtful that people are going to accept it, or that they're going to adopt it as their method of dealing with the world. But we're going to talk about that next time. At this point, we've kind of set the stage on how discourse needs to operate, how society needs to function in order to continue. So, at this point, we're going to close it out. So, thank you for watching, and we'll check you out next time.